Hey guys, 7 here with my first video in a week and a half or so. Took a little bit of a break from YouTube, working on a lot of stream improvements, and there's gonna be more stream improvements coming in the next like month and a half or so. There should be new channel reward updates, improvements to like the production quality of the stream. Added the face cam this month, added a bunch of other overlays and stuff like that too, which are making things a lot better. And more stuff to come with that too, with the Discord tournaments. Still in the middle of that golf tournament. And as per usual, what I usually do with the videos, a little quick update in the beginning. So this week I'm definitely taking Monday and Tuesday off. We've been doing golf on Tuesdays. I'm probably not doing it this Tuesday. I might take Wednesday off. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I'll definitely be on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the watch party, and Thursday watch party as well. Because Thursday we'll be doing the whole like Xbox reveal event. I want to do that live, so I'll be on for that, for live reaction for that, and I'll probably be on discussing it for the rest of the day, for however long I end up discussing it for, and then playing whatever. So that'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be the last COD tournament before Champs, and that's what this week will look like. If I do end up getting on one of those off days, it'll probably be Wednesday, but we'll see. But so what that means for the golf tournament is that I'm probably going to be doing like the main run on Friday or something like that. And if you want to like make up your runs, you could just do that throughout the weekend. No issue with that. If you can't make it to the main one on Friday, which I'll probably do late Friday or really early Friday. Either way, I'm not sure yet. Probably, I feel like it'll be easier for more people to get on if it's like super late. So maybe like after the tournament on Friday, we'll do it if it's not too late. And then, like I said, I can do another run with people on Saturday or Sunday. If you can't make Friday, I can do another run then, which is what we've been doing anyways, so should be fine. Okay, so with all that out of the way, and hopefully Minecraft on Sunday, if possible. Hopefully extra day off, we'll be able to do Minecraft on Sunday. Okay, so got through all that. What I really wanted to talk about in this video is the COD League. So we're pretty close to being done with the first like regular season of it, I guess you could say. It's not completely over yet. The grand finale, the Super Bowl of it, the NBA Finals, whatever, the playoffs, whatever you want to call it, COD Champs coming up. I don't know. Are they even still calling it Call of Duty Champs? I don't know. They might change it with franchising. I'm honestly not sure. Actually, let's see here. Yeah, it says postseason Call of Duty League playoffs. Yeah, not even called Call of Duty Champs anymore. That's sad. I'm still gonna call it COD Champs. That's probably what I'm always gonna call it. But whatever. But yeah, so that's coming up in a month. The playoffs are gonna start on August 19th through the 23rd, and then they're gonna play the final. The schedule's weird. The final like 3-4. I think I see 4 matches here on the week after that for August 29th and 30th. So yeah, about a month. We'll see COD Champs. Really looking forward to that. Should be fun. But before that, we have one more tournament, the last tournament of the regular season. And yeah, they do call it the regular season, so I was on point there. Last tournament of the regular season, the Toronto Ultra Home Series, coming up here July 24th through 26th. Going to be a pretty stacked one. We've got Chicago and Seattle, Toronto and Optic in Group A, Atlanta, Minnesota, Florida, and Dallas in Group B. That Group B is stacked, so that should be a good tournament to close out the season. But I didn't necessarily want to talk about that tournament in particular, or like too much about the postseason COD Champs. I wanted to talk about my like overall feelings now that or thoughts on the season now that we've went through the entire season, or are pretty close. Like we've basically made it through the entire season. There's only one tournament left. Like not much is going to change for this last tournament. We've had pretty much a full season now of play with franchising and how the COD League is going to be going forward, to digest it and give my feedback on it, and what I liked, what I disliked, and all of that. And maybe we'll have another video or something like that for COD Champs. But yeah, so first off, the very first thing I want to bring up, this is just the absolute most important thing that sticks out to me, is time. So like with esports, even with the whole like switch to online, so if you guys weren't aware, with the start of this regular season, it was supposed to be all LAN events. That's what they were all supposed to be. They're supposed to be, I think it was, quick look here, I think it's 13 with the launch weekend. Okay, if you include the launch weekend, it's 13. So technically 13 LAN tournaments for the regular season, and the 14th one being the playoffs. And all of those 13 tournaments are supposed to be on LAN, supposed to be at the different teams' home areas. So like the launch weekend, for example, was Minnesota. After that, there was London, then there was Atlanta, and if you go through the list, tons of different home series for the different teams there. And interesting thing too is that because Los Angeles has two teams, being Gorillas and Optic, they actually gave London two home series. The only team, unfair advantage, by the way, totally rigged. No, I'm just kidding. But the only team to have two home series out of any team, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm missing something, I'm pretty sure each team gets at least one, which is cool. And for some reason, London just happened to be the one that got two, because they wanted to do that many events. And like I said, Los Angeles has two teams, one location. I think part of it too is because the London crowd is something that like COD is. The COD fans are generally pretty excited about. Like the London tournaments are usually have a lot of fan interaction. Best way to say it, like the crowd really gets involved, and those are pretty fun. So, anyways, 13 different LAN tournaments. They had to switch it to online because of COVID. I'm sure you guys are all aware of that. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, because if you're not aware of that, what the hell are you doing? So they had to switch to online. They've been doing the online tournaments from like midway through March. I believe they had to delay it, so they started it like in the beginning of April. They started doing the online tournaments. They've done that all the way here out, and now they're going to be doing Champs Online 2. And who knows what next year looks like. There's also the possibility, sadly, of next year also being online, which would be really sad. Really sad. I sincerely hope that does not happen. I'm going to be really disappointed if it does end up being online for like the entirety or for a good portion of next year as well. I hope that does not happen, but again, we don't really know what things are going to be looking like here after the off season, so we'll have to wait and see how this COVID stuff pans out, and hopefully we can get back to it. But with man, you can tell it's been a while. The sidetrack's real. So bringing everything back around, all the context laid out. Done those tournaments, been through all of them, done the watch party for like all of them, watched a lot. My number one, just getting the negative things out here right away. My number one complaint is the timing. So I used to watch like pretty much every tournament. I started watching, I think, late into Ghosts is when I started watching the competitive tournaments, and I watched almost every single tournament from late Ghosts to now, with breaks throughout. But I've watched at least some of the tournaments throughout every season of Call of Duty. I think the season that I watched the least was Infinite Warfare. And even with Infinite Warfare, I still like watched Champs and watched the opening event. I don't really recall the middle ones. I've watched highlights of them, but I don't really recall watching the middle ones that much. But I watched the first one, the last one. But yeah, I've watched pretty much everything. And my favorite part about it is that like downtime can be a problem at different tournaments or so. But when you had these open LAN tournaments, the way it used to be, is that you would have like multiple streams on every day, except for like once you got down to like Saturday or Sunday, that's when it would go down to the single stream. It'd go down to like the final matches. That's when things get really exciting and starts to get more focused. But on the days leading up to that, you'd have multiple streams. You'd always have something to watch. So if there was ever downtime on one stream, you could go check out another one, get another match, look at a different match, different group, different part of the bracket, whatever. And that was really fun. I liked with those open tournaments how there was always something going on, and how even if there was downtime on one stream, you could always go to another stream. You could always there's always something to witness. Whereas with these with the first season of the franchise league, there is so much downtime. There's so much downtime, and they need to think of better ways to deal with that downtime, or to, I think the best solution, eliminate that downtime. I have had there's so many moments throughout the watch parties where it's like I'm just like, I'll talk about whatever, I'll talk about the series and stuff like that, and I just like run out of stuff to talk about, and I'm just sitting there, and it's like, oh, 5 minutes till the next match, and then they come back, and then it's like, oh, now 10 minutes, and it's like, just get the damn game going. Like, I don't know what the issue is, I don't know what the issues are, but they need to get the games rolling a little bit better for next season. I think that is by far my number one complaint. And from what, at least the people that I watch with that tune into the watch parties pretty consistently, I think most of them, if not all of them, would pretty much agree with me on that. So I think that's something that most people that watch the tournaments recognize as an issue. And I really hope that they get to working on solutions for that, because one of their solutions is to have like some content to play. So like they release stuff on their YouTube channel. They release like the Barracks series where they interview players with TP. Name listed the S&D recons, which are basically like an overview of how maps are played in S&D and like popular strategies on the maps for search. And that stuff is great, but you have to mix it up too. Like at least with TP's series, at least he's interviewing another player every week, right? So there's always like some variety there. It's not like they're going back to the same interview. But even then, they'll show the same clip of that. They'll show like a preview clip whenever they have downtime. They don't know what to do. They'll show like a preview clip of his interview, and they'll show it multiple times throughout the weekend. Instead of taking like different tidbits from the episode, they'll just keep playing like the same part over and over and over again. And it's just incredibly lazy. It's like you have so many sound bites. The episodes are like 30 minutes long. I listened to every single one of them. They're like 30 minutes long, at least. You have so many sound bites to take from, and you can't mix it up a little bit throughout the broadcast. Like, sure, if somebody is just like tuning in for a match, like a super casual viewer, maybe they just want to watch their favorite team, they probably won't notice it. But anybody and they want people to be watching all the matches, you know what I mean? They want people to buy into the league. They want to have as much viewership as possible. For those people, it gets incredibly tiring. It's like, man, I've seen this clip. By the end of the weekend, it's like, I've seen this clip 10 times. I've seen this S&D recon like 20 times throughout the season. Like, they need to come up with more varied ways to fill that downtime if they're going to have it. If they can't straight up eliminate the downtime, they need to find more ways to fill it, because it does get incredibly boring waiting for. I love watching the matches. Even in this game, not that big of a fan of MW. I still love watching the matches, but the downtime really kills me sometimes. Like it really kills me. I need to think of something that I can do during these watch parties that's like not playing a game that commits too much brain power, something like that. I don't know. I need to find something for me to do, because it is just so much downtime. So anyways, there are other complaints too. That is the number one complaint that I just wanted to really get out in this video. Now, bringing things back, I think my biggest positive is how the franchise works out. And we haven't been able to see as much of that with the switch to online. But before the switch to online, when it was LAN, it seemed to work pretty well. Right from the get-go with the Minnesota launch weekend. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I wasn't sure if people were going to back their teams, obviously hoping that they would, but I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. And it turned out pretty well. At all the home series, I would say what we had, the launch weekend, Minnesota fans, they weren't really too loud for any of the matches that weren't their own team's match. So, you know, hopefully we can work on that. But at least for their own team, at least they're getting hyped for that. Like, that's cool. For London, that crowd was getting turned for everything, as they usually do, so that was great, but especially for their home team. Not too surprising there. Even at Atlanta, that was the case as well, and Los Angeles too. Los Angeles maybe being the least so, possibly, probably because there's two different Los Angeles teams. I think that would be the factor there. The reason why it wasn't as, like, consistent with that event. And maybe I'm remembering it wrong, I don't know, but I remember Los Angeles' home crowd not being as crazy as the other three. And I think that might be the reason why, because they have the two-team split. But I imagine that, like, you go to some of these big cities like Dallas, Chicago, Seattle. I imagine if it worked for these other cities, it would have worked for them as well. I just realized Minnesota. There might be a team that doesn't have a home series, because Minnesota had two as well. I missed that. But anyways, little tangent there. But yeah, so I would have loved to have seen how it turned out for the other tournaments throughout the season, because it was really, really cool to see that kind of support. And yeah, it was awesome. So I think my favorite part about it was how the franchising worked out, and how people actually do, how it probably brings casual fans in, supporting their teams. You know, maybe they don't know the players or anything, but they know that it's like, oh, I live in Minnesota, the Star Minnesota team brings them in that way. Pretty cool. So that's probably my favorite part about it. And I want to talk about this more in a podcast potentially. I've been wanting to start a podcast for a while. I want to try to do it this week, so we're 15 minutes in this video. I'm going to stop it here. I don't want to go too longer than that. I'm trying to keep my videos to around that length, so hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want more discussion on this, or there'll be probably like Xbox discussion with the Xbox event or something like that, I want to try to start the podcast on Thursday after that event to bring as many people in and to have as good of a discussion as possible with other stuff in there too. This is probably another thing that I'll go over. So this video is just sort of like a little teaser for another discussion that we'll have when we get to do that, hopefully on Thursday. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and the gunfight gameplay in the background too, and see you next time. Dude, no, what the fuck? I'm sorry, Glad.
How'd you end up with an odd number of kills?
We lost a round, but I got a kill.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Don't show scoreboard.
What the fuck, dude? What? Look at the teams. Look at the. He got a donut too. What the fuck?